Get out my way.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 5? 4? 5? A Don Talk? I don't remember, guys. It's probably episode 5. We have a special guest with us today. The one, the only, Jerran motherfucking Sims.
What up, what up, what up? Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. What's going on?
Oh, man, so excited to get you on here as the first guest, brother. I appreciate you. I know most niggas will probably know our relationship, so I appreciate you, you know what I mean, looking out for me, looking out for Ro, you know, just looking out for the overall podcast for doing
Always,
this.
Man. Like I say, man, we're going to start this off, no bullshit. Y'all niggas know me. Y'all niggas know me.
Right. I'm surprised you really got the interview done as fast as you did, especially like, you know, we know how you do. Motherfuckers be hard to find. Motherfuckers, we was looking for your ass a couple of hours ago. Could
really.
not find him. Perm. Could not find. We was looking for him. Where he at?
Listen.
GONEBOY, where you at? Could not find your ass.
You black man in America, sometimes you got to go missing, man. You don't want them tracking your every move, man.
That's
You
right.
know, stay low sometimes.
That nigga was nodding on the couch. He was asleep, my nigga. But Rome, I know you got like some questions, or you know you want to ask him, and because I know like so you was asking me last episode like some shit almost, but we wanted to like save some of it for this episode.
Definitely, and just from what you basically just said, social media and you being a black man in America, you really go about being an up and coming artist differently on social media than a lot of people do, because you know what I mean. A lot of people, they make their work in the booth, and then they also have to work overtime on social media, holding up a persona, or you know what I mean, just being a certain way or showing a certain thing. You really don't use your platform any more than just strictly music and your craft. And like, how do you, like, you know what I mean? Like, how is it that you separate yourself that way?
I mean, with that, we've been talking about this since I started rapping. It's kind of a bittersweet thing, because it's like, I don't have no gimmicks with this. Like, everything you're getting is me. Like from when I first started rapping to now, to like GONEBOY, it's like, it's who I am. When you meet me, you're gonna get this. You're not gonna get no goofy ass boy on social media that does this, that, and the third, that always got some antics, that's like trying to go viral, making videos. Like, that's just not who I am. Now, with that being said, could I try to be a little more social media savvy? Of course, because it could help with how far I could go. But it's like, it's just hard for me because I've never been that bull. Never been that bull. I just hate. I am who I am. Like, I'm a laid back dude. I be chilling. Yeah, I'm an energetic dude when I'm around people I'm comfortable around, and I laugh and joke. But I don't know. It's just hard for me to fake something.
Right.
Like, if it isn't authentic, like even with comedy, when I watch comedy, or anything that has to do with like comedy, I like when it's authentic rather than scripted. You know what I mean? Never been a scripted dude. Ain't no gimmicks. So that's kind of like the social media aspect of it. Like, just never been my stilo, trying to be something I'm not. Just y'all gonna get the music, and that's it. That's why I feel like I separate myself, because outside the GONEBOY, it's just the music that got me to where I'm at. Rapping or singles or freestyling, and then I got a bunch of people behind me, and it's like, imagine if I was like real social media savvy, did this, that, and the third, because it could be really good for me, or it could be really bad. Like, I could be like doing this, that, and the third.
That could definitely bite you in the ass later.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'd rather just give y'all the music.
Right.
I do believe I should try to be a little more, and I've been being a little more like vocal on like Twitter, you know what I mean, posting TikToks. I ain't even dancing and shit like no nut ass. You know what I mean?
Because at the end of the day, you are an image, and you're an image that people want to see and want to get to know.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. There's definitely that food for thought there in that kind of aspect. But I think also the way you hold yourself on social media is kind of the image itself. You know what I mean? How you're rarely around. How when you post, you got something to say. You know what I mean? How you drop clips, you constantly working. So that's also in itself an image as well.
And it's weird because even before we started this, we set it up, like trying to get this set up. I was just like, friend was like, "You want to show your face or not? Like, you can just talk." And I was just like, "I just talk. Like, I didn't even want to show my face." I got on, like, Pern came on the screen, and it just was my screen. I was like, I ain't gonna do that. That shit look dumb as fuck. And then like, I just gonna look nutty on their podcast. I'm gonna just show my face and talk. But like, I don't know why this is how I am. I don't like exposing myself. Like, to me, social media to me is just like that's a place you can project yourself to be somebody, or like use it platform for your work, for your craft, or whatever. Right. I feel like I take my personal shit serious, whether it's my life, my family, relationships. I like to keep that shit separate. So it's like I don't want to bring that into that light. And I'm just a real private dude, real private. Nobody knows a lot. Nobody knows nothing about me on some real shit.
And
only
and the thing about it though, like with that whole situation, because I mean, me being within like the group, like helping Jerran, it's like kind of like cool when we talk to other people too. Like people love that mysterious, like can't penetrate the team type of aspect of it, and I just think that's dope. And if Jerran's willing to carry himself like that, like yes, there's some times where it's like, you know, you have to get on social media and you have to do those things, but if Jerran can make the good enough music to do that and not, you know, do that thing, like be on social media all the time and have that social media presence, then that's fine. You know what I mean? Because he's already built himself a little, you know, couple stairs in Harrisburg already without being that big on social media. But yes, it would help, but you know what I mean? If you keep continue to grow and do these things, then you probably don't have to.
It's going to become a party.
It's crazy because niggas talk to you different. Like I peep how people approach me in real life compared to like other people that make music, or you know, just other people in general. But like I'm approached differently, and I feel like it's more of a respect factor when people approach me or talk to me about music. It ain't no they approach me on some dumb shit or like on some, oh, he's just this bull. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but it's just like I don't get approached like that. Like I really be on some real respectful type time, especially if you talking about music. Niggas really talk to me on like it's the tone's different.
That's dope. That's super dope that people, you know, give you that respect. You know what I'm saying? And are able to speak to you respectfully about music. And it just goes to show how, like, you know, how actually good you are at what you do.
I appreciate that. That's the movement, bro. You know, like y'all ain't about to when I make the music I make, it ain't gonna be on some like you gonna. I always say this, bro. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna respect it. You're gonna listen to this or watch this video and be like, damn, like I can tell he put time into this. Like I respect it. Whether it ain't your style of music, or you might not never listen again, but you're gonna see that and be like, damn, like you gotta respect what he's doing. Like that shit's just different.
So your style of music, then, just like piggybacking off of that, where would you class yourself at?
I don't know. GONEBOY kind of like separate everything.
It's a lot of different flows and vibes on that tape.
Yeah, bro. I try to. How can I explain this? Like, all right, so I was always just a rap heavy dude. I'm a heavy hip hop dude, and that's gonna be me forever. Just being how I was raised with my family, my friends, like what I enjoyed with music, my influences. But like, you know, times have changed. Music has changed. Like, you can't just rap at somebody for an hour. No kids ain't trying to hear that. Like, there's some rappers who are still successfully bar niggas in their whole project, and they can deliver that, and they got their core fan bases, which is cool. Because if that's working for you, I mean, all praise. But it's for me at the age we're at, we're all, you know, in our 20s, and it's just like, especially the younger generation, that's just not what's in. So I had to find that line between rapping with some substance and still delivering good music. So in regards to my sound, it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to explain it, bro. I don't, because I used to be like, people used to say I sound like Kendrick Lamar. I sound like, when I first started, I got Chance the Rapper a lot. But it's like now, Like my homie, y'all know, I ain't gonna say my homie, our homie, Devon, he says all the time, like, bro, it's like you found your own sound. You was able
Right.
to create.
And when I was asking the question, it was more so like, if I was to look GONEBOY up, J Sims on Spotify, you know what I mean? Like, what genre of hip hop you think they would even drop you in? Like, I think you would be like you said, like hip hop, just straight bars and shit like that. But also, you could be on some also like some tear jerking shit, on some emotional sad rap. You know what I mean? You just got that kind of vibe to you, and when you find certain songs and different melodies and methods that you deliver with, it's really hard to just put you in one category.
For sure. Like if obviously it's gonna be like hip hop rap, but it's just like you said, I'm trying to deliver different sounds. The goal of the project since day one was because we had 14 songs originally, 13 or 14 songs originally, but the whole goal behind it was I want to make 13 songs and be able to sit 13 people down and each one of them have a favorite song. That was the goal from the get-go. That's why none of the songs sound alike.
Right.
Like my biggest, like, my biggest praise I got back from people who listened to the project, different fans and different people who gave me honest feedback was like, yo, no song sounds the same. Like every joint sounds different. And I took a lot of pride in that because that was the goal. Like we didn't want songs. I didn't want you to listen to 3-4 songs in a row and be like, you just feel like you listen to the same song. You feel me? Like, because we have, I ain't gonna say no names, but you have clearly other artists where you might listen to a whole project and be like, well, damn, that sounded like one long ass song. Like, I didn't even know the song changed or like, and that was not what I wanted. I wanted to be able to deliver different sounds, different types of beats, different melodies, different cadences, different flows. Like I just wanted to be able to deliver each song. But I'll make a song, we would be like, I'll come up with a next song the next day or next week or next month, however long it take, and it would just be completely different from the last song I made. That was the goal from day one.
Is that how you change yourself? You think that's a little mix of, well, let's say your background. Like, how did you grow up listening to music? Were you always somebody to dip and dab into different kind of genres and fields?
I mean, and I don't even want to be like the dude that's like, oh, I grew up like different. Like I was listening to this and that. Bro, I grew up just like we all grew up. You know what I mean? You grow up. We all have our different favorite artists and things that was shown to us when we were children. But you know, you got my dad, who was obviously he was a hip hop fan, so he would listen to Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z, you know, all the way up until like somewhat his modern rap, because I feel like his modern rap is different from our modern rap. Like, his modern rap would be like when Wayne start going crazy, or 50 go start going crazy and stuff like that. But a lot of people, you look at a male like him and you see he listens to all this, but my dad likes R&B more than rap. So I was just heavy. It was heavy rap, but like R&B was played a lot when I grew up. So you have my mom, you know, the black mom, you know, Mary J. Blige, Keisha Cole, you know what I'm saying, like Monica. That's all I heard growing up because I was always with my mom and my dad. So it's kind of like, I dibbled and dabbled, and then through that you find your own shit you like. You watching MTV videos and a song come on that your mom might not listen to in the car, or your dad might not listen to. You just be like, damn, like I really felt like that was cold for me.
Who are some of those artists that you separated from when you was growing up listening to that you think like, you know what I mean? Majority of people would say like Drake and stuff like that. Like when you was in your younger teens, who were the people you grew up listening to?
Well, starting as a kid, the first artist I gravitated toward by myself was Michael Jackson. When I went to my grandpa's crib when I was a young boy, I went to his crib in Michigan. I stayed there for a week, and he introduced me to Michael Jackson. He showed me Thriller videos, he showed me all these videos, and I was just remember coming back home to Harrisburg, and it was like, Mom, there's this new boy. His name's Michael Jackson. He's crazy. The whole time, this nigga back in the 80s and 70s and shit, been doing this shit. But that was the first artist I gravitated toward. And then going up from that, like Justin Timberlake came from that. Usher came from that. Chris Brown came from that. Like, I was just heavy on their music. And like Bow Wow, I was a huge Bow Wow fan. I was a huge just growing up in my younger days. I'm trying to think who else was like that you wouldn't think I would listen to, but like I was listening to when I was younger. But them type of artists, I wasn't listening to old. Like, obviously, I was listening to Wayne. You know, Wayne had the crazy run. I was a big Game fan. The Game, he was crazy. But
So
like,
high school, who did you listen to then?
I remember 2011, man. Sitting on my living room floor, nigga come on the screen. This nigga came on, just started spazzing. He said, pushing the hoodie, bumping the Fugees. My life is a scary movie. Your life is a male groupie. And I was like, who the fuck is this? That man, Kendrick Lamar, dog. Kendrick Lamar, that right there was another instant. And another time playing 2K with my brother and his phone rang. And that shit started playing Section 80. I started playing Rigor Mortis. And his phone rang. You know, niggas had ringtones then. And shit came on down. He reading my jackets. I cracked the egg. Bastard. I paused the game. I said, who the fuck? Who's that? Like, he started going crazy. And from there on out, Kendrick Lamar became my favorite rapper. Like, throughout high school, I discovered him in 2011. So, throughout the whole high school, I was just like, yo, he's the best rapper ever. Like, he's crazy. And then, obviously, I was a big Kanye West fan. I was a big Kanye West fan growing up. Because even going back to Michael Jackson thing, you got a light-skinned friend look like Michael Jackson. So that was like, I remember when I first seen that video, it was the MTV Jam of the Week. And I was just like, yo, this nigga got Michael Jackson in his video. And I was just like, became a Kanye fan. So like, I would say those two probably are like the most influential to me. But then, you know, you got other artists that started slowly creeping in you. Like Travis Scott started coming out the woodworks. When I first started rapping, my first freestyle was to not Kendrick Lamar, Travis Scott, Backyard from Days Before Rodeo. And I remember when I first heard Travis Scott, I'm like, yo, he's crazy. My friend Devon put me on it. So like those are probably three main artists that like throughout high school, I would say. Obviously Drake, you know what I mean? I was a big Drake fan, but like I feel like Drake's one of them artists that everybody was a fan of. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly, yeah. I mean, if you grew up and you wasn't a fan of Drake, please call us in at Don Talk Pod and let us know who you are.
Yeah. Because even like Drake was one of them artists, bro. He's like, it's like Nike. You know what I mean? Like everybody got Nike. Right. Real shit though. Like if you think about it, everybody got Nike something. T-shirts, socks. Everybody had elite socks in high school. Like whether it's sneakers, like that's how I look at Drake. Like Drake was just something that he was just a big artist that everybody listened to. So
yeah, people probably try to ignore Drake when he was first coming up and stuff, but you wasn't going to ignore him for too long.
You can't too much. He had too much star potential around him with Wayne being there, just the whole Young Money aspect during that time. Like you just knew he was going to be bull.
Yeah, you had the perfect setup to be great. You're talking about the biggest rapper in the world at the time, co-signing you, bringing you on stage with him, putting you on songs with him, and then you shining on those songs and on those records. Like you had the perfect setup to be great, bro. You literally came. It's like if a nigga like is the best at something and he just, yo, this my young boy. Like he's gonna be next. Like Wayne really brought him and was like, yo, he's gonna be he's taking my spot. They said it in songs. There would be songs where Wayne's in jail and be like, Jersey gonna get him. Like Jersey gonna be take my spot when I'm going. You couldn't ignore what Drake was doing. What he's doing now. You can't ignore it.
Yeah, Drake took that stamp of approval and ran with that shit. He never looked back.
You got to.
He ran with that. That's dope.
But like outside of him, yeah, I would say Kendrick was a big one. I would say Ye, Travis Scott. Believe it or not, I was a big Childish Gambino fan too. I still am a big Childish Gambino fan.
See, so, I gravitated towards Kendrick, I feel like later when I grew and became more mature, because there was a lot of goofy music around when motherfuckers was in from like 2011 and probably 2015. There's a lot of things you could dwell in and really not even have the ears to want to listen to a Kendrick Lamar because you got stuck listening to a bunch of Zaytoven beats or Young Chop and stuff like that growing up. And I was definitely one of them kids like deep in the low tier Chicago rap artists, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And then just dwelling in that whole little section, you would listen to some Kendrick shit and I'll be like, nah, I'm not
And
trying to hear
that's
this.
why
Like his beat not enticing to me how it sounds if this was Dirk or you know what I mean, something like
I
that.
really understand that because I remember that time, bro. Like I said, we all around the same age.
Right.
And I remember when that sound and that area really start popping up, like obviously with Chief and all that, like with Lil Reese. I remember me and my homie. I got a homie that I used to go to high school with. We used to ride around. Our main song, as soon as we hop in the whip, is Traffic. To this day, it's one of my favorite songs. So like, I would never shit on that, like on that type of music at all, ever, because that's influence, bro. Like that's what made people who they are. But going to what you said, like at that time, we was young, we was dumb. I just think for myself personally, I gravitated. I was always a rapper, so like the way a nigga would rap his words would interest me more than how a beat would sound, because I think that's the time when beats start becoming more important than what you're saying on a track.
Yeah.
But for me, I was still stuck on like, yo, this nigga is just different. Like the way he's saying his words, like that's what I was on. I was still listening to, you know what I'm saying, like Chief Keef and Lil Reese, because I was heavy on them when they first started coming out. But like I was still like,
I'm not gonna lie, my dad had me listen to a lot of Dipset and shit. So I was heavy with the hooks and melodies, you know what I mean? With just Jim Jones, Joel Santana, and then like down south rappers, you had old ass Titty Boy, a whole bunch of people, and it was just melodies and hooks, you know what I mean? So then when I started listening to people like Kendrick, someone more lyrical, and then he would have samples from somewhere where I couldn't even reference, or he'd speak on something you might want to take your time off and retype up the lyrics on Google. You know what I mean? That's kind of what the kind of shit that would lose me. It's not like he was making a reference like Wale here do something to sneakers and sports. This nigga talking about some big shit on a whole different platform, and I'm like, why am I hearing about this right now?
it's crazy because I was a big Wale fan, and I was a big I always say this. I have a top 10 rappers, and then I got like a top 10 rappers who made who I am. And on that list, he was Joel Santana. I was big on Joel Santana when I was a young boy. Back when he was Wayne making them I Can't Feel Your Face tapes.
Yes.
But I just feel like it's all about what you was interested in. Because one thing I feel like with Kendrick, and this is why a lot of people don't understand the type of artist he is. I feel like he's the type of artist where he can put something out, like he's done it multiple times. He put something out and then he don't got put it out for 2-3 years, because eventually that music's gonna reach you. Whether you like it or not, it's gonna reach you. I got people that went to Pimp a Butterfly, came out in 2015, used to tell me that shit was horrible. Used to blatantly say to my face, this is the worst project. Now are same ones that when I talk to them about music, they be like, yo, like I finally get it. Like that shit's one of the best pieces of music that came out in our generation. And I feel like he knew that. Like Kendrick knew that. Kendrick knew, he says it in multiple interviews, like, yo, niggas are gonna hate this when I put it out, but they're gonna understand 3, 4, 5 years from now, they're gonna come back to this. Because you're gonna only hear somebody say so many times, like, this is great. And you're just not, it's not clicking with you. So eventually you're gonna, whether your mental state's not there or like your maturity's not there. I don't even want to say maturity, because I hate being that type dude like, oh, y'all ain't smart enough to listen to this, or y'all ain't mature enough, because that's not the case. It's just all about if you want to take the time out to listen. That's how I feel.
I think that's the biggest part that goes into being mature.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
true.
It's real easy to throw some shit on and not have to worry about anything a nigga saying, versus when you really want to take away from a piece of music or something that somebody would call a classical work of art. You know what I mean? I just think the mature tag is thrown on it because of how heavy Kendrick carries his words and like how people reference his music and the things he speaks on. You know what I mean? He's not talking about like no knucklehead shit. Kind of like when J. Cole was speaking to Lil Pump. You know what I mean? Like, you don't gotta be mature to listen to J. Cole, but you understand the people that are entertaining this Lil Pump shit are the immature ones. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even on some. I see where you're coming from, though, for sure.
Yeah, not lack of knowledge or nothing like that. It's just where you at and what you want to listen to, what you want to be on. That's where you want to.
Right.
You just ain't trying to take the time out to actually listen to some shit with substance in it.
I mean, and too, I think Kendrick, he calls people out on their shit. And there's a lot of things people will hear that they do in their everyday life that Kendrick is calling bullshit or weak. This is weak energy, and people ain't really ready to hear that kind of truth.
Yeah, people
So
run
it's
from
like, yeah, I'm cool off that
it.
because
Yeah,
I'm exactly the boy he talking about. Same thing with Fab. Fab done called niggas out 100 times.
I was a heavy Fab fan. I feel like my thing was, I ain't gonna say that, but I
Fab
fuck
used to have you check yourself before you leave the crib. Nah, I can't do this.
Talking about the maturity part of like music, I feel like yeah, I guess like your age and like being childish is a thing, but like there's some people out there that have like grown up and like been the man of the house at like 12, 13, and that plays a huge role as well when it comes to music because you understand some of this shit. And I also feel like the things people go through as well, you know what I mean? Like niggas is fucking 18 and been through all this shit, and you know regular 18-year-olds is out here partying and bullshit and just listening to whatever, which is understandable. Like there's a time and place to play K-Dot. You're not gonna play K-Dot at a function with 50 people there and you're trying to get drunk and party. This is not it. But it comes to a point where like I can throw K-Dot on at a function and get jiggy to him because that's just the type of nigga I am. But for the most part, I mean, like you can't force it. And I feel like K-Dot did it correctly. He was like, you know, down the road you guys will listen to it again and you know get back to it. So situations like this past year 2020 shit, even going into 2021, it's still looking like it's still 2020. People got that fire underneath their ass, like, oh shit, like some of this shit's real. So like everybody has got a life lesson, you know, somewhat last year. You know what I mean? You had to get hit with something, bro. Everybody had to get hit with it, whether it was you being uncomfortable or learning new things.
Can't run from it.
Yeah.
You can't run from it.
I just think like the maturity part of music, like yeah, but if that's the way you wanna, you know, if that's what you want to do, then yeah, but you just can't keep, like Jerran was saying, like you just can't run from it, bro. It's gonna happen. It's gonna catch up. And even though we're just talking about music right now, but like it's bigger than music. Like niggas put their emotions into music. It's like you gotta feel someone when they say something. Like you relate to somebody.
That energy is real.
For sure.
Real. One of my biggest like proudest moments, like this is what I do it for. I don't do it like you said when I first came in here before we started. You said I'm surprised you ain't got no designer on or like you know me back in and then now like still I like to get fresh. I like to, you know what I mean? But that's how I was in high school as well. And you know what I mean, still from time to time, but that shit just it don't matter to me like it used to. And then me making GONEBOY, I really got people taking the time out to reach out to me, sending me paragraphs where I'm like this, scrolling, telling me how this song made them feel, how that song feel, why this song made them choose something different today rather than this. It's like that's what I really do it for. Like,
yeah,
motherfuckers hit me up about solo. A lot of people hit me up about solo, and it's just like they feel that shit. Like they feel where I'm coming from. They understand the story. They understand the play on the words and like how it makes them feel with their own life and their own things. So it's like that's what I do it for personally. Like when you talk about you can't run from the truth, that's why I made a song like that. I couldn't run from the truth, so I was like, I gotta make a song like that.
Mm-hmm. So when people do contact you, because I don't ever like ask you this, but when those people do contact you and you do read those messages, does that some way play a role in your self-confidence or like your self-morale, like within yourself? Like I'm actually like a good artist and like I'm capable of making good music.
For sure. One thing I realized is, and we say this all the time, I wouldn't be doing this if like, I didn't have people supporting me. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people have a hard time finding who they are as a person, and they go through these different things and different phases in their life trying to figure out who they are as a person. And by like not trying to shit on nobody's life at all, it's a hard thing to do. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to find myself. We're still trying to find ourselves. But like I have an idea of who I am and who I want to be when it's all said and done. And I feel like some people, it's just hard for them to get that right now. So going back to making music, obviously, this is the time we're living in where everybody and their mom's making music, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody and their mom's rapping, singing, whatever. But like, we all know there's motherfuckers just like, come on. put that shit down. Like, go do something else, bro. It's just not you, bro. It's just not you.
Right.
And like I said, I want you to, I'm never to be like, you shouldn't be rapping. Like, you shouldn't be singing, because it's like anybody can do it at the end of the day. Anybody can do it. Anybody that's ever came to me and asked me, yo, bro, you think I should do this, that? I'm always encouraging it, because it's like, who am I to say nah? Because that'd be hypocritical. I'm doing it. I'm always going to encourage that. But it's just like, going back to what Perm said, when I do it, put it out, and then I got people, every time I scroll my TL, niggas just quoting bars, saying this is their favorite song, screenshotting their song, boom, boom, boom. And I got people personally hitting me up, telling me how they like this and how they really like that, and how this bar made them feel. Of course, it's gonna help me out, because it's like, now I know, like, all right, this is validation for me.
Right.
Now, these motherfuckers it's real. You know, it's a lot of people can do it for social media. It's a support, because we know who those people are. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you sent the fire emoji, this, that, and the third, but you didn't listen. You didn't click play. You just following behind everybody else. But there's people who are truly genuine, that really listen, that really took the time out to listen, and I love those people. But like, when people really hit you up on the personal, that gives me validation, because it's like, I can do this shit for real. Because then I know if I can get one, I can get 10. If I can get 10, I can get 100. If I can get 100, I can get a band. If I get a band, get 100 band. If I can get 100,000 people. I know eventually I can get 100,000 people. I've done it with Pink. Like, I can get 100,000 people to click play on my song and really enjoy and really like and really listen to it. So now I can go 500,000 to 1 million. Because at the end of the day, we humans, bro. Like, there's somebody that's going through the same shit that you're going through. So if you can reach out and touch, where I got 400,000 people on Pink, I can do that with GONEBOY. I can take songs from there and take it to that level or even beyond that. It's just, we got to put the work in and get it in front of those people's faces for them to click play. But like, yeah, it definitely gives me a confidence boost.
So what's the future for GONEBOY? What do you where not even on some like, what do you have planned? Just your journey so far, like where you've been through and where you see yourself going is more so my question.
I think GONEBOY is gonna be one of them things that it's gonna take time, but people are eventually gonna gravitate toward it. Like, once because I realize even now, a lot of people are still listening to it. Like, people are still like going to it's in their daily rotation. You know, they got certain songs that's in their daily rotation. So I feel like I feel like me and Perrin talk about this all the time. We're gonna have to, like, obviously we're gonna have to put the work in to still push it, because we have a lot of stuff in store. We got videos. We're still doing merch. We're doing other things. We're trying to put out and like help it with the music. But like, also with that being said, we're living in a time where you got to make your best first impression. So it's like,
that's a real.
If Arena comes up to you, y'all got a song, or here's my CD, it's gonna be hard for you to take that CD or go push play on that song, because it's like, who are you? Like, well, I'm not listening to that shit. I'm about to get in my car, play my Brent Fire ass, vibe out. What the fuck? That's how I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm an up-and-coming artist. It's hard for me or somebody, because to send them a song, like, I feel like a song like GONEBOY, or a song like Time Is Up, or a song like Sinning, like, people, those are really great songs. Like, they just are. I'm sorry. I feel like they're really great songs, but it's hard for me as somebody who's low on the totem pole for me to be like, yo, click play on this. Cause it's like, who are you? Like, why would I click play? But once those people start clicking play, it's gonna be like, nah, it's happened before. This nigga's like I've been asleep, or like, that's just how it goes with artists like me. Like, I just gotta find those people that's gonna click play. Because once you click play, it's no turning back. Now you're here. You're in. I got people, when I put out freestyles and when I put out videos, and that's why the videos play an important role. Because you have no choice. Once you're on Instagram, you scroll and you watch even a couple seconds, and it starts off and it catches your attention. There's people I've known for a long time. Maybe we've not known each other personally, but we've known each other mutually. Like, you know who I am, you know who I know who you are. We don't speak, but like, you might be doing what you're doing, but like, you know, I've rapped for a minute, and I've known who you've been for a minute, but you never supported. I never, you know what I mean? Which is fine. Everybody got their own life, but they come and like now be in my DM, be like, yo, you're tough. Like you're the toughest in the city. Like how did I not listen to you before? So it just takes time. It's just we just gotta find those people who's willing to click play. That's all it is.
And just me being a part of the process, that like piggyback on top of that, I feel like the growth and like the quality throughout your career has helped a lot as well, whether that be music videos, whether that be the recording process. Like everything about you is quality. So like you were saying, like when people hand you mixtapes, it's kind of like I'm not about to click on that because I go to your page and like you just doing random ass shit on your page. It's not quality enough. Like you don't have high quality pictures. Like for me, that's like sort of a like a red flag for me. Like you don't have anything quality on your page. Like you don't have any substance. It's just random shit, or like it's just like, what are we doing here? It's like you want to be a rapper, but at some point you have to play like that rapper mode. You know what I mean? If that makes sense to y'all, like you have to play that part. You have to be quality. You know, you gotta have shit around you. You gotta wear nice clothes. Like these are things you have to do. I mean, you don't have to, but that's kind of like the mold that you have to follow at some point.
I feel like you just gotta deliver. Whoever you trying to be or whatever you're trying to do, you gotta deliver that in whatever way, form, shape that is. If you're getting any type of attention for what you're trying to do, you just gotta deliver that. Like me, I feel like, because even Rome said this. This is, we talk personally, but going back to what you said with quality, I personally, like people, I don't know why people don't think I do this. My own friends don't think I do this, but everything I do plays a part in what I'm trying to do. Everything. I really sit down and really think about a story, a concept. Every video I do plays a part in either the next video or the song or the placement on a project. Everything I do. So going back to what I was saying, the freaking trailer I put out, trailer I put out when I was floating in the air, and then I was rapping with two of me, all that plays a part into GONEBOY. And that's why I put that out first, because it was like, I wanted to show y'all what y'all about to get with this whole project. So people are used to me just coming on rapping, boom bap, whatever. I came in on some like, I was rapping, but it was like melodic and it was weird. And then you watching the video, I'm floating. Then there's two of me, and you're like, yo, what the fuck is happening? And that's why I drew a lot of people in with that video, like with that one video.
And that song was a win-loss situation, because it was a win for the social media aspect of it and building hype for the album, but it was also a loss because that was supposed to be like the track 13. Like it was supposed to equal track, 13 tracks on the album, but it didn't make the cut because we had some issues with sampling and shit like that. So it sucked. It sucked, but it is what it is, I guess. Just move on, learn from it.
And even with that, I got that back. I was like, man, fuck it, we making a video out of it. I'm doing something. This is one of them. Like, I can't waste this verse. Everybody I showed it to was like, yo, you snapped on this joint. And I was just like, bro, we can't waste this verse. Like, you gotta do something. So I was like, we're gonna do this video. We're gonna do it like this. We're gonna have this. I'm telling the boy that I'm doing it. We always collaborate on videos, and it's just like I tell him, yo, we're doing this. And he gives me his feedback on what he can help me do to get that image out of my head. But we doing something. This verse is gonna be heard. Because the verse is GONEBOY. The whole verse is like what the tape's about. Basically.
So you got a lot more on the way. You got more videos on the way.
For sure.
On the way. Merch on the way. I mean, it's just slow delivery. It's COVID out here.
And that's the bitter. I don't want to say bittersweet. It's mostly bitter, because one thing I really want to do is perform the whole project. I want to set up I have the whole setup of how I want to set this whole project up in my head. First song I want to do, how I want to come out, what I want behind it. I want to do that shit so bad, but I can't, because obviously the situation we're in and the world's going through a pandemic right now, panoramic right now. You know what I'm saying? Like
panoramic.
Can't do nothing. But
we in the pandemic. If y'all scamming out here, they get into it.
And that's oh my gosh, bro. It kind of hurts me to my core, because I don't want, when it's time to where we can go outside, that the music not still resonate with people. Like I hope, and that's why I got still space space things out how I'm doing it. Still try to keep the merch because I feel like once we do the merch, a lot of people have been asking me about the merch. We're gonna get that out soon, but I want the music to still resonate with a lot of people when that time comes where I be like, yo, I'm doing a full show, like not just me, doing the whole album, maybe songs that singles like Pink and the most, or I might throw in there as well. But that's what I really want. That's why I was kind of like not in a hurry to drop it, but it was like at the same time I've been teasing it for so long, and I gotta put music out. Like we gotta put something out. So it's kind of like a bittersweet thing, but I really want to. I just hope when it's time to go outside, I'm able to set this whole joint up and really perform it.
Yeah, and I think the main thing with like teasing it for so long, like people don't realize, because a lot of people put it on you, Jerran. Like a lot of people call me like, "What is Jerran doing? Why isn't he dropping?" and all this other shit. But the thing is, people don't really know, and I haven't said it, is because me and Jerran have both like emotionally, like family shit, just personal shit. Like we've been through a lot these past like 3 years, bro. So like it was just so hard to try to focus and do music. Like we just had so many real life problems. Like people think like we're able to make music and get it out ASAP. Like we're still regular people. We're still in this pool of water where we're just regular. We can't do shit. Like we want to make music every day, but we can't.
We gone, boys, man. And even with that being said, along with life, we perfectionists. Like we've made so many songs throughout this process, so many songs, and it's crazy because I was going back listening to like old songs that we didn't put out. And I was like, I'm happy we didn't put these out because it wasn't there. It wasn't ready. Like yeah, there's parts that's good about it. There's good flows, good bars, maybe good hooks in this song, but like we really took the time out to pick out the best songs that was like, all right, we got a project. Like now we have a project.
And we've butted heads on like, oh, well, I like this, well, I like this, or we should use this, and it's like we'll come to an agreement on it, but at the end of the day, we'll go that's smooth. Like Confetti, for instance, I didn't like Confetti when he first made it, and now it's one of my favorite songs. But it's just kind of like you got to give and take. I feel. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something about Perm, bro. You want because all right, so there's people in my life where I take their opinion seriously. Like I really want to know what you think about this. Perm's one of those people, obviously. Devon's one of those people. The people I keep around me. I want to because y'all are music. I feel like y'all are music savvy. Y'all know what's hot, what's not, and what y'all like. Y'all got good taste. When I first made Confetti, I was by myself, and I started putting it together. And the way I was rapping, all these problems, I just keep running. I don't even speak a Nord game. But I was just trying to do something different. Like I was just really sitting down. All right, I'm gonna do this. And I was trying to do something just out of the norm. So I did it, and I'm listening to. I'm rocking. I'm like, this joint's cold. So I call Perm, show him. I was like, I'm just like, what you mean? Like, you ain't fucking with it? He was like, nah, bro, I ain't really care for that joint. A couple of days later, he's like sending me because whenever Perm likes something from me, he'll work on it. Like he'll just start working on it. Like you'll call him, he's working on it, like clicking through. Like you'll call him, all you see is his glasses that looking at the screen. He's trying to go crazy. And I'm like, oh, you working on it? He said, yeah, I'm trying, I mean, get it right. And he sends it back to me and he's like, he fucks with it now. Like that Jones rocking. Like I was just like, it was just one of the Jones. He shot me down. I was like, damn, I really like this song. I thought I was gonna make the tape. And then probably like a week later, he's fooling with that Jones, mixing it, got it sounding crazy. And it's just like, that's how that song came about.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, I don't know. I know I'll play a role in it some way, but for the most part, like I'll get my praise whenever I get it. But the nigga really talented, bro. It's just I want to unlock that. I want to make sure I unlock the full package for everybody. So if I gotta be that bull to be the hard ass on him, then why not? Like I'll fucking do it. Doesn't matter. I don't care how he feels. I just want the best for him.
And I need that because it's like I don't want to put out something that's mediocre. Because at half the time, it's not that he thinks it sucks. It just thinks that it's like, yeah, like mediocre. Like it could be, you could do better than that.
I mean, it's also going to perspective too. It's like you rather, at least me, I rather my friends tell me off, put me in my place than some random motherfucker. I have no idea
That's a fact.
where you from, which is, you know what I mean? Like, if
Fact.
somebody will cuss me out and let me know that this ain't it, I'd rather it come from somebody I love or I really fuck with than me going out and embarrassing myself thinking I got the most righteous plan right here and the first nigga that walk by it just shoot it down. Like, that shit definitely rub you different.
That's a fact. I don't keep yes men around me at all.
Right.
I ask them, he'll tell you any of them. I'll ask them. I will ask them 30 times in a row. What you think? What you think I can do better? And I'll just keep asking, like, because I really want to know.
That's funny as hell. Because sometimes when Perm be asking me about the podcast, he asks me a question. I just sit there and look. I be like, does this nigga want me to say no? Like, what the? Like, I really be feeling like he be testing me out just to see if I'm paying attention to the situation here.
That's how I am with them. With them, right. I be really asking them because it's like, I don't want you to not like it, but I really want your genuine opinion. Like, I'll be riding, like, all right, there'll be times, and there's plenty of times I'll pick him up, riding, showing him a song, or playing a song we already made that he almost cold. But like, if I want, I don't know, he'll be riding, he'll be chilling. I was cold, bro. I'm just like, is it cold? Like, no, bro, I told you, like, we got that. You someone's crazy, bro.
Nah, real rap. Like, I mean, I think the thing is with like anybody that is a creative, and I even said it on my stream the other day. Like, me personally, bro, I want to make sure I'm hitting everything correctly. You know what I mean? Because to some people, yeah, it might look good, but to me, it's like, I know myself, I can do better than this. So I'm going to strive to do better. And it's like, if I have, because a lot of people don't have real friends. They don't have friend groups where they can go to and ask questions. You know what I mean? I do. I have friend groups that I can, you know, bro, what do you think about this? And I get an honest response back. And that's what, you know, that's the reason why me and Rome work out so well on this. It's because, like, he's real. So I'm going to be honest. So when I ask Rome, like, yo, what do you think about this? Like, it's me being self-conscious in a way, but it's me like, is this joint really cold, or like, am I just bugging and just, you know, should I just shut the fuck up about it?
Yeah, that's how it be, bro. And that's the thing a lot of people lack, is having real people in your corner. Because that's a blessing. A lot of people don't have real people in their corner. And I really cherish that, because I tell them all the time, everything I'm doing right now is to build a foundation for us, so we can all build off of this, branch out, and do our own things. Like, that's what I'm doing it for. So, like, you got real people in your corner, man. Like, really, really, you know what I mean? That's a blessing, bro. You gotta cherish those people.
Yeah, you definitely gotta take care of those people too, because they'll say some of the smallest critiques that make some of the biggest adjustments in your life, and you forget where that even came from. You know what I mean? So just take care of those people for sure. I think another question I wanted to ask you though, just like, if there's anybody out there that you could work with, anybody like work with tomorrow, who you, like, a couple people you would want to work with?
If you would have asked me this a couple years ago, I'd have said Kanye West, but probably not now. Because I just don't feel like mentally it would be a good collaboration. But obviously Kendrick, somebody I would love to sit down with and create something with. Believe it or not, Cardi. I feel like Playboy Cardi.
Oh wow.
Cardi, somebody like, all right, some of my favorite songs from Cardi are ones with he has features on them. Like, he obviously has songs by himself that I really like, but like, he has songs where he has features on them. And I'm like, yo, like, I would just love to rap to like a Pierre Bourne beat, or like some of the beats he's doing where he does his thing, with his flow, and like rap the way he rap, and then I feel like we can make a crazy song.
I feel like Pierre is really slept on as an artist.
Nah, for sure. He's a solid artist for sure, because he's I don't know what the Purple project's called. The Purple
I think it's called Pierre Bourne.
I would say it's The Life of Pierre Bourne.
Yeah, it's that. Yep.
That song's actually, I listen to that frequently, but the way Cardi be, like, whenever them two collab, bro, it's a match made in heaven. So Cardi's definitely somebody I wouldn't mind locking in one time with, making a couple tracks with. Andre 3000 would be one. I feel like that's like, when I get to that point where I'm able to create my first studio joint, he's a feature I would want to get. like a hidden feature. That's what I will like. He will be probably that one.
I
I
feel
always
like
wanted.
3000 is super hard to get in touch with. Like you hard as fuck to get in touch with, but like Andre 3000 would be like,
Nah, for sure. I feel like he doesn't have a phone.
yo, that's what I'm saying. Like you probably gotta speak to him through like carrier pigeon or some shit.
Bro, real rap. Like he don't got a phone. Yeah, I don't know if y'all seen that video. When Thug was talking about him
With the flu.
with Thug when he talks about how like he don't really fool with Andre because like I don't know what type of interaction they had before, but he tried to I guess reach out to him and it was like hard, and he felt as though because of who he was and where he's from, it shouldn't have been that hard. I don't know if y'all seen that video, but I feel like yeah, it's on Ti had a podcast where he was talking to Thug, and Thug was like he was kind of dissing Andre, like saying he didn't fool with him, like saying he didn't listen to his music, none of that. Which is cool. I can't tell you how two men feel about each other because you don't know the type of interaction they had.
Mm-hmm.
But like from an artistic standpoint, Andre's somebody definitely I would love to somehow get in the studio and make something. Because I would love for him to like do what he did on Frank's album with Solo Reprise. That's like one of my favorite songs ever. And I would love like if he had like a little like skit on my joint where he just starts, like just gives me a 50-second verse. So Andre for sure. I always wanted like a real Wayne verse. Y'all know what I mean when I say a real Wayne verse.
Yeah, Wayne, holy shit. Where did you find this?
Yeah, I need Wayne to, I am the beast, feed me rappers or feed me. Like, I need Wayne to really black. I don't need none of that. I need a real Wayne verse. But like now, I probably wouldn't want it.
Yeah, that's super hit or miss.
Yeah.
What do you think about the situation of him selling the masters, YouTube Perm? Like, didn't he sell Nicki and Drake's masters?
I think he was put in a position where he had no choice.
I don't know about the whole Nicki and Drake part. I said he could have gotten so much more than I was 100 million.
Yeah.
He could have gotten so much more for his masters.
Yeah, that's my problem with it. I know, bro, we know who Wayne is, bro, what he's contributing. Right. He could have got half a B. If we being honest. He could have had half a he could have got 500 M's.
He could have got a Patrick Mahomes contract for his masters.
A Patty contract.
You telling me 100 million is what his?
I think it has to go into that whole situation with him going to jail and then him.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
it all happened one after another. Like
I feel like he was put in a position where he had to do that. I think that's where it all boils down to. I don't think in any other circumstance he's doing that for that amount of money. Because some people might look at that like, oh, it's 100 M's, but it's like, bro, that music's worth so much more.
Way more than that.
And even Drake and his masters. Come on. You're talking about some of the greatest artists ever.
It's crazy because it's the whole story around Lil Wayne, like him trying to get shit back from Birdman and all this other shit. So you couldn't even drop an album for years because of Birdman, because you didn't want to even drop an album underneath it for him to get money. So it's like you went through all this, you finally got your masters, and now it's like you're getting hit with Fed time now. So now you have to sell your masters again. People don't realize that, like,
for like 3 years.
Bro, that's the lucrative standpoint of a rapper at that magnitude. You want your masters. Those are going to be the things that benefit you.
150 back from that from Birdman?
Mm-hmm.
It was something like 150. So you talking about just him alone, what Birdman owed him, he get 150. Him alone. And he sells all their masters for 100?
That's crazy.
That's how you know it was deeper than selling it. I feel like he was just in a position where he had to do what he had to do.
Like Aaliyah, for instance. Like, you know what? You know the reason why Aaliyah's music isn't on Spotify and shit like that?
Her uncle.
Her uncle owns her masters. He's not putting it on there.
Yeah.
So it's like if somebody from Aaliyah's, like, you know, I guess camp or like family members had, like, if her mom had it, or, you know, somebody else, like, they would probably do it. But people don't realize how heavy masters are. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have them. Like, that's the only way you're going to make money after you're gone for your family. Even
after you're gone, and even after you're done. Like, if you feel as though maybe your time's up, or like you just ain't fitting in no more, this, that, and the third, the masters take care of you. Your family, yourself, it's generational wealth.
Like Nipsey Hussle, for instance, like with his situation, rest in peace, but he owned his masters. So now it's like your music's gonna get played regardless. So your family is gonna be straight now.
He did one of the craziest things I ever like witnessed is when he sold his album for what was it, $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he sold 100 copies. He made 100,000 selling this album for $1,000. That's the craziest thing in the world to me. Because it's like when you look deeper into it, it's my problem with the music industry. Yeah, I feel like nowadays, especially with the younger generation, for granted. We take artists for granted, and like we expect them to put music out, keep putting the same joint they've been doing, keep coming with it. You just dropped a month ago, I know, but drop again. But it's just like, bro, this is art at the end of the day. This is the same art that's keeping the rich richer with Picasso paintings and Basquiat paintings, and like that's lucrative. That's wealth right there. That's what money goes into. There's people who they control their wealth with paintings and art. I feel like it's the same thing with music. Like music is the same type of it's an art form, bro. You can't, bro. Who's to say? And this is why I think the music industry's messed up. Who's to say an album comes out? Just even in our time when we was young, before all the streaming and all that. But an album comes out, because I'll get into streaming too. Album comes out and it's $12.99. We're selling in all stores. You go buy an album for $12.99. This goes back to when far way back, like just in music in general. Like who's to say this is my music is worth $13 to one person? Granted, like the average buyer, like now, like the way your mind is set, it's like I'm not paying no more for no. But like who's to say like if I come out with like say nothing was the same or like To Pimp a Butterfly, like say.
I see. So you're saying if these artists were able to sell their products for the price they think they're worth.
Like the knowledge that is being given, or even not the knowledge, like the type of feeling that I'm giving you. Even Chief Keef, Return from the Dead. Who's to say like no billboard, no music industry, no selling this, or Finally Rich or Good Kid, Mad City. I'm gonna just say those two so I can talk to you and talk to me.
Right.
Who's to say at a point in time, if none of that involved, Chief could have been like, nah, this joint's 100. Like you gotta have $100 for this joint. So you can listen to Kobe, so you can listen to Love Sosa, or Kendrick can come to me and be like, or Kendrick can put it out on his website by himself and be like, this album's $100 or $50. Like that's artwork, bro.
Bro, sure.
That's why I think the music industry, this is how they keep people in place. Going down to nowadays with streaming, who are the people to say that one stream is worth like, what is it, like 4/10 of a cent?
Not even a cent.
Like one stream. I got 360,000 plays on Pink. I'm not gonna say how much money I made from it, but and I only made this much.
Right. Because someone else in the office set that bar.
Who's not an artist.
Right.
Who's all about money, but that's what's wrong with the game. You feel me?
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Because if somebody go make a painting, they'll bring it to a venue or something like this is worth $15K. Drake can go in there, make What a Time to Be Alive with Future, come to people and be like, you want to hear this shit, $200. It's
art, bro. It's art. And that's why I think the game's messed up. Because it's like these people from the outside, it's like, who's making these prices? Like, who's saying this is what my music's worth? Who's saying that? Yo, if you knew how much, well, you know, like, you seen it in real, these paintings, like, even Hov said it. Hov gives game in 444. I bought some artwork for $1 million. 2 years later, it's worth $2 million. 3 years later, it's worth $8 million. I can't wait to give this to my children. Like, it's really, that's how the rich stay richer. Like, with artwork, it's liquid. You know what I mean? Like, it's money into it. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to, like, it's artwork. It's art. It's how you feel. It's an expression. But it's a canvas with paint on it. So who's to say my CD with 14 odd songs can't be worth? That's why I think that Nipsey Hussle is the craziest. Like, he really did that. Like, he really sold 100 albums for $1,000 and made $100,000. He said, this is what this music's worth. If you want it, you can pay for it. If not, cool. And he sold 100 copies.
And to like
crazy.
piggyback off all of that, I think like I appreciate getting raised like and trying to build my music career during this era, for the simple fact that it's so easy for you to manage yourself, set yourself up, be the person to distribute your shit, just use third-party apps and just do everything yourself. Make your money yourself, sell your merch yourself without needing those record labels. And I mean, anybody that's listening to this, you could take it for what it is. You could take it as game, you could take it as a gem, whatever. But make as much money as you can now and do everything now by yourself. Like invest in yourself, buy merch, do that shit. And then so when it's time, when you get to that point where you have 1 million concurrent streams on your Spotify or your Apple, that when these record labels start calling you and hitting you, that you have shit to show them so they don't take the percentage of pie, that you can keep most of your pie intact and not give it to the record label because you're missing your merchandise because you can't hit this price point. So like for us, I want it to be like, well, we sold 75 grand in merch last year. We only need y'all for da 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 da. You know what I mean? Right. So the whole plan is to beat out these record labels, is to keep as much percentage of your pie as possible, bro. Because you don't want to get into these deals where you're sitting for 3 years and all you want to do is make music because that's what you love doing. That's why you're here. You want to make music. You don't want to be sitting off on the sidelines and not making any money at all. So it's like, do it yourself while you can now, build yourself up. And if you want to get signed to a record label, then by all means do it correctly. Think about it first. Just don't sign to a record label because they're offering you 8 zeros at the end of that one. Figure it out.
And so many dudes you get young black men trapped because they come from where they come from and they want to feed their families. They see them zeros and this is the way. They want to either they want to feed their families or they want to live that lavish lifestyle. You really smart. I really look into like how certain artists handle their situations and like how they get their money, because it's like I always look at certain rappers and what they're doing compared to other rappers or like even singers, artists in general. Like how is he or she making so much more money than this one? Or like doing what they're doing, how are they getting the support? Like another crazy story I can give y'all is how Frank finessed the industry out of 20 M's. Was it 20? It was either 20 M's or 200 M's. Don't quote me. It was one of them. I think it was 20. Frank Ocean. Okay. Frank Ocean was trying to get out of his deal. I forget who he was signed with. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to mess up the story, but I just know the story is he wanted to get out his deal. So he had 2 albums, but he had 1 album that was his real album. That's why when he came out with Endless, that long hour-long video where it's playing songs, building the joint on Apple Music. I don't know if you remember that Rome or Perm, but he came out with this video on Apple Music, and it's an album. There's an Endless album. You can go listen to it, and it's actually pretty decent. But he put that out, and the label thought that was his album. Like, all right, Frank, this is what you delivering. Boom. He put that out. They thought his album was like the next day or a week later, he dropped a Blonde. He was out the deal, and all the money he made from Blonde was his.
That's how he finessed that.
Yeah.
He basically said, it's my album, but it ain't my album. I got this album for them for real. Like, Blonde's really my album.
On the Endless tape, it was just the last album in his contract he had to drop. Was there actually music on it?
Yeah, if you go, like, whenever we finish, if you want, literally can look it up on Apple Music. It's Endless videos. The album's called Endless, and it's like him building like a staircase, but the whole time is playing music. It's like 40 or 50 minutes long. And there's some of the, like, there's songs that are cold in that genre. It's not, obviously not as good as Blonde. Blonde's like a classic, you know what I mean?
So he was really holding out for when he got out the deal to drop it. I see what you're saying. All right.
He dropped it like, I want to say he dropped it the next week.
Drop a bullshit
full
of tracks.
Boom. Yo, here's Blonde. This is my real album. I'm dropping it myself. All the money, all my masters, is all me. Finesse them.
That's how it should be, bro.
That's how you gotta do it. Like Drake, he knows. I feel like Drake's in a perfect pitch situation. He knows. But if Drake decided to go independent tomorrow, the industry will fall. The amount of money, bro, he has every streaming record. He's the first artist to really start big streaming, like with Apple Music. Apple Music started with Drake. It started with If
Like
you read,
the first advertisements for Apple Music was like Drake and Taylor Swift.
yeah, it's
I
Drake and
got
Taylor
more
Swift.
slaps than the Beatles.
Bro, if he decided tomorrow, not tomorrow, I don't want to say tomorrow because I don't know his whole situation. Because I thought he'd been out of his deal, but like he must be in other tied up deals. Because you gotta think he's somebody that's signed to an artist, that's signed to another artist. You feel me? So who knows his loopholes and all that? He's still making his coins. Don't get it twisted. If he ever got out of that situation and decided tomorrow, like I'm going independent, he would literally destroy the record, destroy the music industry. This dude has an album where he's the most. Like, he made it what, 1 billion streams in like a month or something like that with Scorpion. Like, he's the most streams on the album. Like, the numbers he's doing is crazy. So if he's decided like I'm going independent, Drake would be a billionaire. He'd be a billionaire
just off his music.
Just off his music. And he would kill like every artist would follow behind him. Like,
right.
Well, he's doing that by, all right, I'm doing it by myself. It's the same thing. Like, look at basketball. If LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kawhi Leonard got together, that's 8 dudes I named. It's like, and LeBron was like, yo, I'm about to just start our own league. They could do it. They could really do it. Like, you couldn't get Victor Oladipo and, you know what I mean, Paul George and them type dudes. Like, they couldn't do it. But you get them top bulls to really stand together and be like, yo, that's what we're watching. I'm not watching this to see freaking
I'm not watching the Warriors game without Curry.
I'm not watching Kelly Oubre miss 4 threes. Like, we're watching this for Stephen Curry. If them dudes that got together and was like, yo, their contracts are done, like, yo, let's start our own. Let's do what LeVar Ball was trying to do to JB. Let's start our own joint. Bro, it would destroy the NBA. We have the power to do that. It's just like all about if you want to take those, it's a risk. It's a risk factor.
Right.
What Colin Kaepernick tried to do, bro. Like, he was standing for something that he believed in. But like, imagine if Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and all these other players at that time, not now when everybody's locked, when he was first doing. Imagine if them dudes was taking knees at that time and was standing with Colin at that time. Imagine if Aaron Donald and whoever was the top, like Ray, I don't know who was the top bull at that time defensively. Because that was only a couple years ago. It was like 2016. But like I said, Tom Brady, not Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. Imagine if they really stood with him then. Like, they could really, people understand the type of, like, they know, but it's just hard to grasp that concept that we could really change how things are. We could shut all this down.
Yeah, and that's something I like to say a lot too. Just breaking like the normality of things and just changing it, because it is possible. Like, the people that have these foundations and structures, they're just the ones to do it first. It's nothing to say that how the NFL is ran is how football is supposed to be experienced the rest of our lives. You know what I mean? And that just falls into a lot of categories. And like you said, it comes with the risk factor. And I think from just watching like Master P and Diddy and shit, a lot of these people really get in as much as they can before they break off and start creating their own thing. Because you know what I mean? Who was to say to Tyler Perry when he was supposed to just walk away from it and open his own studio? Because like the gross just kept coming in. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that we as the viewers will never understand versus like Drake's, you know what I mean, and LeBron and the shit, because they probably do want to walk away from this shit and start their own situation, but because it's actually them and they know what it's going to take to do this, they're probably like, damn, I might need 4 more years, you know what I mean? I might need 20 people with the same impact as me instead of just 8.
Yeah, that's the fact. Me saying that's not saying that it could happen tomorrow.
Right.
But we have the power to do that. Right. They got the power to really, because like you said, bro, it's all built on foundations that came before us. That came before them. That came before them. Like, before the Jay-Z's, the Nas's, the KRS-Ones back then. Like all that stuff, and even with sports, like before the Bronze, Jordans, Dr. J's, like, bro, it's crazy. If you really think about it, you could really shut this down, bro. One song after this I want you to listen to is it's Kendrick Lamar, Untitled 3. And he talks about like just the mind state of the cultures, each culture, like each ethnicity when it comes to Asians, blacks, whites, and how we approach life. It's a short song. It's only like 3 minutes, but he goes in and he said, "What did the black man say?" And then he'll talk about like how black men go about things and like, "What did the white man say?" I want you to listen to that because it's like songs like that made me help understand like how we approach. Like we are really the creatives in the culture and we make this. You know what I mean? People want to be black, bro. At the end of the day, everything you see when it comes to men or women, like from other ethnicities, it's all taken from our culture.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that's what we're good at. We're good at creating what's cool, what's hip, what's in, what's now. But then you look at these other races, they're good at taking that and turning it into business, turning it into money, turning it into a foundation for generational wealth. That's something I feel like we have to work on as a. I feel like we got better with it, but I feel like that's something that we had to work on as a culture and as a race.
I definitely think we gotten better, and I think another thing is too the people that got there first are more so willing to keep it in their family. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard for that person to be like, ah, damn, I'm over here. Ain't nobody else over here. Like, let me just open this door for everybody to come in the back. You know what I mean? And that's kind of people we deal with. There are some people that are in great positions to help 100 more people fill in those seats, but it's just like they're comfortable with it just being them. You know what I mean? So
you gotta, and that's why I always, like I said, I preach to them all the time. Like, bro, everything I'm doing is to try to build. I'm trying to do something, bro. I'm trying to build a foundation for all of us to eat off of in our own. Like, even if it's y'all, like, say we get to a point where I get to a point where I'm this big, like I can make it a like one of the dope things I do. I see all the time. Pat McAfee's a kicker, old kicker from the Colts. He got his own podcast or his own little show on YouTube, and every Wednesday after the weekend, Aaron Rodgers comes in and talks to him. Like, who else is getting exclusive interviews from Aaron Rodgers after he just balled out for a crazy performance? Like, you get a post game interview, that's it. But he's getting like, he's like, I'm sitting with y'all. It's Aaron Rodgers talking about whatever he wants to talk about, talking about how he feels about this person, this Devontae, and I think that's dope because it's like he's showing love in a way. Like he fools with him. Like people gonna watch because it's me, obviously. But like, say I get to a point, I can come right back here, sit down with y'all again, and give y'all. You know what I mean? People gonna come watch. People gonna come watch this. Purely because I just dropped the tape, they want to hear what I gotta say.
And I was gonna say on a smaller scale, like you helped us out just from last night. I think we got about like 8 to 10 new followers from the Instagram page and even on Twitter. So you know what I mean? Just you on a smaller scale is, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's huge.
Small scale. Like I said, and even with the podcast, it's hard for people. Same thing with the music. It's hard for people to be like to click on and be like, all right, let me go listen to this. Like they'll go listen to Joe Budden or Joe Rogan. I'll listen. Me, I'm gonna go listen. But it's like hard for people because it's like, what am I gaining from this? Because it's already here. But you gotta prevail, bro. You gotta stay in and prevail and get people to follow the movement. And I feel like eventually something happens to where one day you're gonna look up and be like, yo, we got 100 new followers. We got 200, 300. Yo, we got a band. Like something's gonna happen. It's gonna click. Same thing with the music, bro. Dropped my first song. So I don't know what it was, but people would just click play, bro. My first song, 1,000 listens on SoundCloud. And it was like a lot of people was talking about it. And then I remember me and Perm was sitting at my little brother's game number. I remember when Pink, we was checking, I'm like, yo, Perm, I got 17,000 listeners. He was like we didn't know what was gonna happen. Couple months down the road, we got 100K. Couple months down, we got 200. And we was like, yo, it happens, bro. It's just like you just gotta prevail, bro. That's all.
Yeah. And I think with that, like you just have to understand anything you do creatively is gonna take time. This shit isn't gonna happen overnight. Like I remember talking to Jerran back when I lived at my old house before I moved to Florida. Like we both told each other like, yo, we're in it for the long haul, bro. Like we know we're not going like be on 2 years from now, as much as, you know, as good as that sounds, but we know this is going to take a couple years. And what?
It's going to take time, but it's going to happen.
And what? You're like what, on year 7, 6?
Rapping? Well, I'm 26. Yeah.
And I'm on 5. So it's like we're here still. We're progressing.
That might
We're
sound like
growing.
a lot. I'm saying that might sound like a lot, but bro, that's the thing about us. Like this is small scale, bro. You don't see this from the people that's already there.
Right.
Like, you don't see the
And I
time
mean, like,
who they are now. Like you don't see that.
it's good marketing too. Like somebody blow up, you're not going to see what their Instagram looked like from 2015. You won't see, like, you know what I mean? My joint started getting 75,000 views in October of 2020. My shit going to start here when y'all start tuning in 2022. Like, you know what I mean? And that's the kind of thing that I actually like when I find somebody that's popping now and I search them on YouTube and stuff, and then you found out they had 2 rap names, and then you go back to their old shit and you realize they've been doing this for 8-10 years, and it's like it feels like it's overnight to you. You know what I mean? You met I bumped into dude with 40,000 followers. It felt like it was overnight, but when I really go into his music, this nigga been dropping songs since 2013. I would never click on.
Never click on, bro.
Yeah.
And that's how it is, bro. You just gotta understand. Social media, bro, it's a highlight reel, bro.
Yeah.
They gonna show you the highlights, and that's how everybody's is. Like how you doing and all that. They ain't gonna show you the pain and the suffering and everything you went behind the scenes. Because a lot of people, including us, like you going through stuff that people don't know about, that you spending money that you don't know about, you doing this, that like nobody knows about the stuff you really going through, the numbers you really doing. But once that song comes out that everybody knows, it's like, oh, yo, he blew up crazy off that one joint. Like, not to get to where I'm at.
Yeah, and for people that aren't like that, you know, just started off listening to Jerran from GONEBOY, like on like the streaming platforms, like it was singles and now it's GONEBOY, but like there's albums out. Like we have, it's not an album, it's a mixtape, but it's called Timeless, and I'm not sure, you know, if everybody listened to it before, but that's out. That was a full body of work. He also has Messiah that when he first came out as a mixtape, he dropped. So like there's bodies of works that are out there, because a lot of people are saying like, oh, this is his first body of work, but it's like, yeah, it is like officially, like, yeah, GONEBOY is his like first official body work. Like you were saying, Rome, like we start with GONEBOY, so we going, you know what I mean, you gonna see GONEBOY.
And I look at that like that. I look at GONEBOY as the beginning, because like sure. I got Messiah and Timeless, but to me those were all learning, like just learning, trying to find my sound, trying to find. It should be. I was learning about mixing. I was learning about how songs really should sound, and it was all just a learning process. But like, I feel like now that I'm at GONEBOY, like, and I finally put out GONEBOY, GONEBOY to me is the beginning. Like, all right, now this is quality music. Right. This is my first real project that I can say this is like.
Perm and I talked about it earlier too. Like, even with me doing the whole clothing thing, certain learning steps you have to take and mistakes you're going to make throughout your career, it's easier to make those mistakes or fumble and get back up when you're only addressing 200, 300 people versus 40,000. You could have dropped Pink. You wake up with 100, 200,000 followers, niggas is expecting something next week. And it's like, how do you even know how to move with that kind of weight? How do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's easy to learn and get through those bumps and bruises when you have a small platform and you're continuing to grow. Like you can drop shit like Messiah, a whole project, and Timeless, and call it a learning point. You're not letting a whole bunch of people down. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not turning your back on your fans. It doesn't carry that kind of weight. And I think that's where a lot of people that have that quick success, where they struggle at in the long run, is because they don't have no practice room. They don't got no time to grow or expand, or if they do, it looks weird to their audience and their crowd. They're like what Perm said, or in a couple episodes, he was like, what do you mean this isn't really you? Like, fuck is you doing? We followed you on TikTok because you always did this, or we liked your music because you always did this. But now it's like that person's trying to figure out themselves and grow, but they can't.
That's real. That's a really good point, bro. Because you see it with different artists who really did shoot up overnight, like, and you're just like, you don't hear nothing from them. They just got a bunch of followers, like. You don't see no music on nothing. Everybody playing it. Like, it's just, you just got a bunch of followers.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Like, you see it all the time. That's why, bro, it's crazy because there's people I see with millions of followers, but there's artists who are really out here. Like, people who really play their music who got 200,000 followers, 100,000. Larry June, like, a lot of people are really big Larry June fans. I'm not a huge Larry June fan. I think he's nice, though. But Cuz got a lot of he don't got millions of followers,
Right.
but Cuz really got a foundation where people listen to his music, people buy his merch, he got sneakers that people bought. And it's just like, yo, he's really, and that's like, I'll take that route because that's real. It's a real following. Like you got really people who really fool with you. And I feel like that's where I'm at right now. And I'm building on top of that because, obviously my following grows every day on all the platforms, like a couple here, a couple there, but it's like, it's genuine. I didn't buy it. I didn't pay for this, pay for that. Like, it's genuine. People heard the music from either word of mouth or discovered it on their own. They follow me, and it's like, yo, that's what you want. I feel like because then at the end of the day, it's all gonna be because then people are gonna follow you to the end. Yeah. That's how I feel.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Jerran. I remember us having a conversation saying like, we're willing to take the career and lifestyle of like a Action Bronson or of a Joey Badass to where like they're comfortable enough, but they have that core fan base that's gonna keep supporting them no matter what. You know what I mean? Now if we could reach the Kendrick Drake, then you know what I mean, so be it. But like realistically, like that, if we could make it there, then that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But if we can make it to the Stardom Foundation, then we'll take that as well and roll with it.
Like I said, bro, I just want to get people be behind me, like no matter what. Obviously, when the world opens back up, but like even now, like bro, I got people that really be showing up to my shows, knowing the words, like, and that's just a small group. You talking about probably 100 people, you know what I mean? But it's just like that's real love. They really hear, know the words, hear a song, really singing along, standing up. You go to a show, you got people performing, they sitting down, nobody listening. But I'm up there, people standing up, looking at me recording. You know what I'm saying? It's a small scale, but like that's gonna grow and it's all real, it's all authentic, it's all genuine. That's what I want. So like Perm said, like we talked about before, if I get to a point to where I'm not no big star, but I got a core fan base, cool with that. Because I feel like once you get to that point, that's just work ethic. But once you like beyond that, like say you do make that one song that crazy on TikTok or something, that's something you can't help.
Right.
That happens, that happens. And then you gotta I feel like even Cardi, Cardi had a cult fan base where people were following him from day one. And it's like what took him to me, if I had to ask him, and I feel like he would say like what took him so long, a whole lot of red. But obviously he was working on it. You don't know how long he was working on it, but it's the pressure. Because now you got songs that didn't even come out. You gotta go on YouTube to find these songs. People's making TikToks and this, and it's like you really blowing up. So now you really gotta deliver. You ain't just got the core Cardi cult fan base that follow you. Now you got all these other people that's dancing to these songs, and they're like, yo, who's this? And it's like, bro, this Cardi went crazy with this dance craze, or Pissy Pamper go crazy on different videos. You know what I mean? So it's like now you really got delivered. And I feel like that's something he probably didn't even, dang, this show's going crazy. I didn't even put it out.
It's crazy that you brought up Cardi because I feel like he's one of those artists that when he dropped a sound that sounded so appealing to people, they hooked onto it and that's all they wanted. And when he tried to grow or experiment in different aspects of music, it backfired against him.
Yeah. I feel like one thing I do feel like, especially with today's listener, I feel like he didn't get a fair listen from everybody. Like people want to be that first, bro. You see it all the time. You click on like you say you scroll on Instagram, you see a post like NFL post, so and so did this, that, and the third, and you click on the comments. I think it's just first top comment. Couple spammers with the, you know what I mean? Or like people want to be that first person to be like, oh, this joint's trash. Oh, this joint's cool, blah 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 blah, without even really giving it a listen. People was calling that joint trash, and I wouldn't even. We dropped on the same day. But I see people saying this is cool, this is that, this is third, and it's like 12:30. Bro, this shit's 24 songs. Ain't no way to this project. I told Perm probably like a couple days later, I'm like, yo, there's no way people listen to this joint. Because track 18 and down, fire.
Right.
Fire. And I'm a Cardi fan, but like, there's songs I was like, I really ain't for that. But like, bro, there's no way y'all are listening. So I feel like it backfired, but then watch a couple weeks and months from now, people are gonna be like, oh this song's dope. This song, these songs gonna start going crazy. People don't give songs a fair listen no more. That's all it is.
Yeah.
If somebody's calling an album trash an hour after it came out, I will never listen to somebody like that. Like, you can't believe that. But what do you mean you think it's trash? There's plenty of songs I listened to off first listen and didn't like. Later down the road, I'm just like, this song ain't that bad. This song type decent for real. Or this song's cold.
For sure.
You can't. People. I don't know. It's just today everything's about the internet, bro. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says who's gonna be the person to set the trend? Like, who's gonna be the one to open up the floodgates to shit like that? I mean, that's all today is built on for real. Is trends. Who's gonna be trendy enough to do shit?
And that's another thing. People be scared to that really they love their craft to do something because say you get somebody that really got a name behind them that says it's poop, bro. People are just going to say something's poop just because he said it. The same thing with sports, bro. Everybody and mom quick to say how James Harden, his play style's never going to do this, that, and the, or he's pooped, this, that, and the third. All he does is draw fouls, bro. I don't care what nobody says. James Harden is arguably the best scorer in the league, if not the best scorer in the league. And you can't take that from him.
He's a hooper.
It might be the same thing with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's never going to win running the ball. He has to throw the ball. He's pooped. Like, he's not even good. His MVP season, everybody got him figured out now. Look what he did yesterday. Threw for 179 yards. That ain't Pat Mahomes. 350. But he ran for $130 in a tub. 55-yard tub. Like, just because he ain't doing it how y'all want him to do it, don't mean it ain't going to work for him. And that's what people, you can't take everybody's narrative. Sometimes you really got to sit down and watch or do something or listen to something yourself and just be yourself and come up with your own opinions, bro. People got a tendency to follow what everybody else says and not even really take the time out to listen or watch themselves. Like, that's my biggest problem with people. People quick to critique something and don't even have no real observation. Like, you ain't even really sit down and listen.
And it's kind of like just what your mom used to teach you growing up, or like your teachers in general. Like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all, type of thing. And
that's usually how I am, bro.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I'll say stuff about everything that I feel my opinions on to y'all, but you ain't bashing something. Like, I just don't do that. I'm not gonna.
I'm definitely one to speak when I disagree with it. However, I don't speak a lot on things I have no idea about. So, like, when people talk about football, you know what I mean? To a certain extent, I can speak on football, but I'll be the first to admit I'm dropping out the conversation when it goes too long. I mean, that's not where I'm about to sit and I'm about to critique or come at somebody because of what the media says or because the majority of my TL has this kind of viewpoint on Dez Bryant. Like, I'm not that kind of bull to just jump on the wagon and just like, oh yeah, no, for sure, Dez Bryant is like, I don't know, I don't watch him play ever. Like, I'm not about to sit there and say that. But if it's something where I pay attention, like you said, have an observation and I can disagree with, or, you know what I mean, agree with it, that's going to be heard across the board. And I just think it's really weird that people feel comfortable just speaking, you know what I mean? Like, you just really going to leave this comment here, and if I call you on it, you're not going to have shit to say about it. Like, that's the thing that bothers me, because I'm from a place where, like, somebody will say something back to me. So it's like, I got to know what the fuck I'm talking about. A lot of motherfuckers just speak, and when you say something back to them, they just don't, they be like, nigga, you didn't think somebody was going to question this? You just out here blatantly calling Steph Curry one of the worst point guards. You don't think nobody's going to question this shit?
Yeah, that's how people look at things, bro. They don't really give put no true observation in things. Whether it's, like I said, same thing with music. Like, bro, there's plenty of rappers I genuinely don't like. And I will tell you face to face, like, if you like them and I tell you I'm for this music, don't, whatever the case may be. But I just don't bash them. Like, I don't never bash a young black man getting money. If he getting money, how he get money, hey, he doing it how he doing it. Just because I don't like it, don't mean I gotta bash it or hate on it. Nah, I never been that type of dude. The same thing with basketball. If I don't like the way a player plays basketball or player runs the football, that's cool. But, like, he here. Now I have 100% as a human to disagree with something, for sure. If somebody asks me about him, I tell them how I feel. But I ain't gonna freely just draw. You know what I mean? And that's what people's problem is, bro. Like a project will come out and they be the first one. Oh, this is trash. This is garbage. You didn't really listen. And even if you really do feel like that, like, bro, what's the point of putting that down? Like, oh, this is horrible. That's somebody's art, bro. Somebody took their time with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you might not like it, but I'll listen and be like, this is poop. And like maybe Perm hit me up and be like, so and so project. I'll be like, I ain't really care for that. I'm not being on Twitter like this is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
But
bro.
But cause we're probably gonna wrap it up here soon. But to just reel it back in on the GONEBOY album, one question I was gonna ask you during what we were talking about, but we ended up talking about something else. If you had to choose a song, like what song was your favorite to make, or like what process of a song was your favorite to make from the album?
Right, GONEBOY.
GONEBOY.
Right, GONEBOY, or I don't know. I feel like every song has their own special moment. Like when I made it, every song, because like when I made it, I felt a certain type of way when I made it. Mm-hmm. But GONEBOY, I remember when we made GONEBOY, because we just left where we was recording that, and we didn't have nowhere to record, so we recorded in my mom's crib. And I remember we was up like late. It was me, you, and Devon. And I was just recording it. And I remember Devon waking up out his sleep and was like, yo, this is cold. Like, this joint sound like this joint sound like a hit. We was just sitting there like, nah, this joint's really crazy. And Perm didn't even mix it yet. I just recorded it. But probably GONEBOY. I feel like GONEBOY is a song that people are going to... GONEBOY is one of those songs that later down the road come back to and be like, nah, this is a gem right here. People are catching it now, but later down the road, they're going to come back and be like, this joint was really crazy. Especially when I've dropped the video for it. Yeah, there's a video coming for it. But yeah, every song has their own like special moment when I made it. Like Don't Flinch, the second half of Stick Around. I remember one of the best things Perms ever did for me is when he gave me all the equipment to record by myself. Like he wasn't there. He left me everything. I was just like, yo, I'm gonna just leave this here. Like everything changed when that happened. That's when I discovered my sound. When he left everything for me to use, for my use freely, and I was just recording by myself in my own world, especially, and then like, you know, we play the game a lot. Bro, my PlayStation broke and my joint was done for like 6 months. That's when GONEBOY happened. That's when the majority of GONEBOY happened.
I sabotaged everything. It was the master plan. Y'all all welcome. I did that. I broke his PlayStation. I gave him the equipment to use it.
But it was probably like
you're gonna need this now. You're gonna need this not now, but later. You will need this.
You're gonna need it.
Just I ain't got no game, so I ain't playing the game. Like get off work, just not doing nothing, watching a movie or something. I'm just like, man, I'm about to go work on music.
I
really
think with like 85% of the album done, Jerran would text me miserable. Yo, I'm bored as fuck, bro. I need to get on the game. Like I need my game back. Da 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 da.
Yes.
It was like
no,
not yet.
All changed when he gave me that. Like I would say we had a foundation of a project, like songs like On Go, Solo, Paranoia with Jasiri. Those songs were there. Time Is Up. Those songs were there. But then songs like Confetti, GONEBOY, Stick Around and Don't Flinch.
Never Love.
The Never Love Part 1 and Part 2. Them songs came from me being by myself. Like just being, I remember when I first made Don't Flinch and I was just hearing the beat going crazy. And Devon was on his way over. And I didn't have nothing written. I went to him, I got sound. Bodies hit the motherfucker, like screaming. No way in the crowd, I'm just screaming. Bodies hit the motherfucking ground. Down. And I remember Devon came in, I was like, yo, listen to this, push play. And he's just like, and I started saying that. He was like, oh my God, this is amazing. He was like, you got anything written for it? And I was just like, nah, bro, I literally did that probably 2 minutes before you walked. Just screaming. Like I really was just experimenting with my sound. So that was one of the best things that Perm ever did for me. Left me all the tools to create by myself, rather than me going somewhere for a couple hours trying to come up with a song. Like really sitting in your element is really when you make your best music.
And you haven't done that in
never
2 years. No, I'm saying like because you used to come over to my crib and be there the whole day.
Yeah, I will be there. I will be there, but like I've never did it how I did. With
yeah,
this.
for sure.
With the music, because eventually I'm leaving your crib, and I will be away from your crib for days at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
this
is the first time I would wake up, get on here, and make something. Just make something. Like I remember, I made GONEBOY. RP to Mac Miller. I made GONEBOY for Brand Name by Mac Miller with the sample. The sample, I remember I was driving one day and the sample was like, and I just kept saying that all day. I was like, I remember I found the beat and I plugged in the beat and I was trying to find something to say. I was like, this beat's just hard, but I ain't had no bars. And I remember I just kept saying, ooh, ooh, and then next you know, GONEBOY happened. Ooh, gotta get in my zone, yo. Gotta make it back home, yo. And I just like really living with it. So I was able to do stuff like that where I would have something on my mind and really be able to sit down and put it in rather than having something in my mind and then it being gone, disappearing, and never having that thought again. So that was, yeah, that's what made the tape for real, for real.
For sure. I mean, we could wrap it up here. I mean, any final like questions, Rome? Any thoughts like you want to display?
I would just really I just like more music in a timely fashion because some niggas like to resort to violence. I'm not that person. I'll write a mean message, but I'm just saying you're growing, so you're gonna attract niggas with loose screws. Why not accommodate everybody and just keep everyone safe? And let's not be gone anymore. Let's not hear. Let's be record boy. Let's be drop boy.
Let me ask y'all two questions then. Yeah. Well, let me ask y'all both. What's y'all personal favorite songs?
Still.
I
told Perm, bro, that shit gotta be the music when our little video clip you asked me. I said still.
Heard.
Yeah, that jump.
Story behind
and the one where y'all couldn't get the sample. I really fucked with that one a lot. But still, GONEBOY, Sinning, yeah, them Jones was tough. But probably Still and GONEBOY some of my favorite. I just like the I'm a heavy melody dude.
Nah, for sure.
And definitely the wordplay.
Still is the last song I made. I made Still probably what 5 days before Perm.
It's the newest song on it.
It's the newest song on the project. That was the last song I made. We had a song called Drowning. That was the second song. And we thought it was dope, but it was just like, it don't fit. This ain't you. This ain't your sound. It was too, I don't know what it was. But and even myself, I used to ask them every day, like, yo, I need another song. Like, I can't, it gotta be a second song.
It fit for what he was saying. It fit. But
the sound of
it. It was the sound, but it was also the music that was already making the album that made that song sound shitty. If that makes sense. Like, there were so many better songs than this song that it was like, we didn't make a song that's matching every other song on here.
Right.
So it was like, that's why we took it off, and we were like, well, we gotta make another song. And we were like, fuck. And so, I mean, he got it done. Song. That's how Still came.
Everything, Perma tell you, bro, throughout this process, every time I just text him like, yo, I got one. I got it. And that's how Still happened. Still, I found the beat. And I was just, that beat just came on. I was just, oh my gosh, this is what the second song. And I made it. That was the last song I made. It's Still, and then I think before that was Never Loved. Them was the two, like.
Yeah. But it'll get to a point, bro, where he'd be like, bro, I promise you this is the last joint we're putting on here.
I got a song I made probably 2 days before, or the day before, that I still really liked. We just couldn't figure out the auto-tune on it. And I feel like I'm going to release it eventually. But it's like that song, we just gotta figure out the right sound. Like it just don't sound right. It's not clicking because we know it's a good song, but it just ain't clicking. The sound ain't there. But that song was about to be the second song. I'm like, yo, I'm just made this. This is going on. Apparently, like, nah, this just hold off. It don't sound right. We don't want to put it on right now, and it don't sound right. So that's another song.
So you said a deluxe. We getting a deluxe?
Hey, bro, we gonna see, man. One step at a time. One step at a time. What's your favorite song, Pern? Let me hear him.
Confetti. When I was first listening to it, I think Never Love, the first part is beating it out almost.
Yeah.
GONEBOY, I think it's just gonna be my favorite, just cause that we hyped it up the entire time while we were making it, and that was a song that we chose to that we thought was gonna go far. But I think Never Love, the first part, I really like. I think that's the one, especially like the way my life is going on right now. Like Never Love, really like hit for real.
True.
Yeah.
Glad y'all like it, man.
Heart too cold. Bitches think that I'm anemic.
Glad y'all like it, man.
But yeah, any announcements you want to make, Jerran, or any like things coming in the future that you want to say towards the end right here?
Like I said, this is just the beginning, bro. We got videos coming. We got that bullshit with the Capitol that just happened, so that kind of like you don't want to. You want to focus your attention on. You don't want to focus your attention on that, but like that's where the attention's at on social media and all that. And you don't want to put music out. It's just not a good time to put something out around that because I was having some shit going on. But it's gonna be videos coming. We got merch coming like ASAP, and then yeah, we gonna see about the deluxe, man. We don't know yet. We gonna see. I feel like this is one of them Jones. Like I feel like it still ain't get that reach yet for me to drop a deluxe.
Mm-hmm.
But like if it comes around, I'm definitely gonna put out a deluxe. Probably there's more music to come. I ain't gonna announce like I'm doing this. That'd be a lot.
Now, I only said deluxe so niggas would text you after the episode is dropped so they can annoy the shit out of you. And then you can come say, yo, bro, why the fuck you sit on the podcast?
I ain't gonna, we might get a deluxe. I ain't gonna say this is the stamp. Like, you get 8 more songs, but we gonna see.
How much for a feature?
Yo, all right, so that's another thing I'm kind of like indifferent about. Because I feel like Perm tells me all the time, like, bro, you gotta, like, niggas gotta pay for this.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, talking about? Hell yeah.
I know that for sure. I just feel like I'm at a place where it's like, who am I to say, yo, I need this for a feature?
Before you continue, hell yeah. Listen, any little motherfuckers listening right now, you motherfuckers gonna have to pay. Fuck that shit. Jerran's a real humble dude. I respect it. I tell Jerran all the time, and I tell people about Jerran all the time. That's a real humble dude. He don't say a lot. He get what he need to get done. He live his life. He a humble dude. He a great dude. He's not a shitty dude. Now, me on the other hand, I'ma fucking tell you, cause I'm a dickhead and I'm deep. Fuck that shit, home. This nigga is talented. If you want Jerran on your track, you better come with some fucking money too. But go ahead, Jerran.
I just be thinking that, like, I don't know, I'm not at a place to be like, but I also feel like going back to what we said earlier in the podcast, like, you really should have to pay for your art. Because I feel like if I'm doing a song with you, and especially if you ask me to get on your song, I'm definitely going to make the song better. I'm going to put my all to making a dope track for you. So, like, yeah. Mm-hmm. What Uzi say?
Prices will be discussed. Serious inquiries. Only the serious, man.
But no, I definitely got it, yeah.
Really appreciate you coming out, though, on the podcast.
For sure, man. For sure.
Really spreading knowledge, chatting it up with me and Perm and everything.
No doubt, man. Anytime, man. Anytime y'all want to guest, man, just to talk bullshit, I might slide for y'all, man. Y'all know I stay in my own little cocoon, but I might come out. Appreciate y'all for having me, though.
Yeah, of course, man. Shit, being the first guest, man, that's gonna help out a lot. We appreciate it, like Rome was saying. So
yeah, thank you.
It's all love over this way.
All love, man. Y'all my brothers, man. I fuck with y'all 100.
Appreciate it. Well, all right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. This was the exclusive motherfucking interview with Jerran. If you guys haven't listened,
I had no pants on. I was thinking about it. I was just butterballed on this joke.
You just got up thinking your webcam was off.
Alright,
Yo, he's out of pocket.
Yo, this is how you gonna end off this shit.
I was just thinking about that.
But if you haven't listened to GONEBOY, please go check it out. It's on Spotify, it's on Tidal, it's on YouTube. If you can't, if you can't afford those streaming platforms, go check it out. Go listen to it. Follow Jerran at Jerran717 on all platforms, man. Go check him out. Go give him a listen. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up like always.
GONEBOY everywhere, man. Go listen to that.
My cash, I said diamonds on my teeth. We don't do that beef. Call my shooter Zuko, cause he keep that heat. Niggas fake and they don't live by the code. You came out if you ain't right, and then I put that on myself.